TOMz.
Sanibonani Dumelang, I'm Shady Mzansi. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of TOMz right today TVC One. Where life and TV are uno. Great, my boy.
Too nice, how are you?
Hi,
fresh. You know what? This is two awesome birds buffet. Tukamalamu Caddy and Anghamgi One Hamba Nosia. We're about to take you guys into the world of life, science, and technology. So today's topic buffet is an issue that a lot of South Africans actually face. Yes. Not only about Bala Mzansi, but abantu emhlabeni jikelele.
Absolutely. Now, buffet. Today we're talking about affliction of addiction.
Yeah.
Now, what is addiction? Mina ngithi masithi nje dictionary sithi a devotion to something. But okay, for centuries it was known when you're intensely involved with something, be it music, books, or anything else.
That is right. It was either good or bad. Yes. And we also could see the word addiction has now a new definition. About to they associate addiction with either something that is unhealthy, damage, or destructive activities.
Absolutely, Buffet. And today we're actually going to be exploring some of those addictions as well as their causes. With that being said, are you ready? I hope you're ready as well. Let's get the show on the road.
Alright, Gamer Gang, here's what you can expect on this episode of TOMz. Sidibana with a young man with a compulsive gambling addiction. Sidibana nomnyu sisike who talks to us about her eating disorder. Sitola gabanzi why addictions occur and what treatment is all about. Ingqondo zabantu zisebenza njani and which part is our pleasure center. Zaqala nini treatments addiction and what were they exactly? So iphucula njani treatment of for addiction in the future and find out how much you know about how our brains work.
Yes, my friends, this is Philip and this is Kasi Lakon Nani via our social media pages. Namhlanje ke bafethu sinbuza kahle what is your addiction? Waqala ke siphethe uvusi uthi ke yena I'm addicted to my cell phone. Well, I can relate. Owesibili ke siphethe uThandiswa uthi ke na she's addicted to sweets. That's not good for you. Now keep those comments coming in on Facebook and on Twitter. On Facebook we are TOMz, on Twitter at TOMz_SABC_1. Amanga nibethe sikole mona bathini asaminto qabani.
Oh yes, we're still at it again with our road show. Sisemafiking in Touchdown Lapulukhang High School. Today we're talking about addiction, and right next to me is a beautiful lady, Angzambuzama Christian. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm great. Skimang butela how? Okay. So what is addiction?
Addiction?
Yeah. When I say addiction, what am I saying? What am I talking about?
I'm not really sure.
Addiction is getting into something very much. Liking something so much that you would give anything for it.
Addiction is
Yeah. So what other things can you get addicted to?
You can get addicted to maybe your cell phone, fashion.
Yeah.
To music.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to watching TV.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to read books.
Yeah. Naki addicted to clothes, ne? What are you addicted to?
Dancing.
Dancing?
Sure.
So if you have a friend that's addicted to alcohol and drugs, what can you do to help that friend?
I will sit down, then ke mo tlhalosetse gore di drugs di ka mo damage yang, then ke kope maybe batsadi ba gagwe gore ba mo ise rehab so a tlogele di drugs. Mara if ke dutse le ena ha tsa ang kutlwa gore ke mo thusa yang aba di tlogela then it's fine.
Cool, but today we're talking about addiction. Yes, but because when it's addiction, automatically you guys think about drugs. Well, it's much broader than that. Let's go check it out.
Kukho izinto ezininzi ezohlukeneyo that people can become addicted to. Some of them, like addictions to shopping, nazo video games, are not necessarily life-threatening, kodwa ke they are destructive nonetheless. Ezinye, like food, alcohol, and drug addictions are, however, life-threatening as they lead to unhealthy lifestyles, which in turn can kill you. All addictions ziwa into two categories: physical and psychological. Iziyobisi, like heroin and cigarettes, are physically addictive, and umzimba acquires a higher tolerance to the chemicals with increased use. Psychological addiction is when abantu use a drug or an activity to make themselves feel better. Lenake addiction is equally dangerous because thoughts of using can become all-consuming as a physical craving. Between 1750 and the early 1800s, sobriety circles and mutual aid societies zotywala zaqala within various Native American tribes to combat the growing problem of alcoholism within their culture. In 1784, Dr. Benjamin Rush argued that the condition of chronic drunkenness was a disease that should be treated by physicians, and this marked the beginning of the move towards abstinence. In 1964, the very first inebriate asylum was opened in New York State to treat alcoholism. This and other inebriate asylums evolved to include the treatment of a growing list of other drugs, jenga opium, morphine, and cocaine. Alcoholics Anonymous, okanye AA, yaqala ngo-1935 by Bill W. not Dr. Bob S. The roots of today's NA, okanye Narcotics Anonymous movement, can be traced back to the groups that began in California in 1953.
So, Dr. Alexandra's rat park involved ukuthatha amakundwane ntwana ne bese awafaka inside a cage on their own bese afake nama like drugged water, and then wathatha another group of rats, put them in the same area with drugged water and normal water.
So basically, in a nutshell, now Lamakundane and Lawa that were alone went for the drugged water, and Lawa that had company and entertainment did not.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now when I guys should ngalomba on Facebook and on Twitter, tinaga sikubona emva kwethu lo siyabuya khona manje. Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back to TOMz, watching SABC1 Mzansi for sure. Now before the break, bafethu sesangela ke ngiresearch ka Dr. Alexandra's rat park where amanye amakundane eyaphuza ke amanzi adragiwe amanye awazange.
Yes, so in research ka Dr. Alexandra yasingisa bafethu ukuthi thina as abantu we actually have an essential need to bond. Absolutely
bafethu, and lokho kuyasho ukuthi kahle kahle uma singenazo izinto zokubonda noma siyi-attach kuzona ne noma ke sisodwa or isolated, we end up finding izinto zokubonda, and that's where we actually find unhealthy addictions. With that being said, bafethu asubmit someone namhlanje ukuthi is keep up on my what?
Let's go.
Yo, keep up on what bafethu. Inja game sifikile, your boy Sia, and of course namhlanje say touchdown eValta Frieden Park. Lana guess sizokhuluma kabanzi bafethu nge-addiction. Ukuthi kahle kahle umuntu accepta kanjani ukuthi une-addiction and the rehabilitation process yakhona nokuthi impilo ibanjani after overcoming that addiction. Namhlanje ke bafethu silana at Changes Treatment Center. Without wasting any time, let's get in. Hey sir.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. My name is Clive Blumenthal. I'm the owner of Changes Treatment Centre in Northcliffe, Johannesburg.
Okay.
And we deal with addiction, and we run a facility for helping addicts with addiction.
I want to know, how do you know when you're addicted to something?
When your life just becomes all about that, when it becomes just basically everything you do is around that, everything you form your day about is around that.
Okay.
If you've got friends, you cancel appointments with friends so you can be with that.
Okay.
You first consider that before you consider everything else. So it's that first, before your family, before you even, it's that first.
Me, I don't know. Maybe I'm addicted to my phone. I just want to find out from you, right? So, literally every day when I wake up, the first thing I do is I check my phone. Would you say I'm addicted to my phone?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Are you addicted to your phone?
I don't know. How do you know when you're addicted to something?
When you'd rather be on your phone than at work, or you'd rather be on your phone than have a relationship.
Okay.
When you'd have a relationship with your loved one, all you do is sit on the phone. Pretty much that.
So putting your addiction first.
Yeah,
the people that you love.
And becoming unmanageable.
Ingqondo yomntu is the most complex organ in the body and the center of all human activity. Indawo ezohlukeneyo zengqondo are responsible for coordinating and performing specific functions. The brainstem controls basic functions critical to life, such as heart rate, umphefumlo, nanokulala. The cerebral cortex is divided into areas that control specific function, processing information from our senses, enabling us to see, feel, savor, and taste. The frontal cortex or forebrain is the thinking center of the brain that powers our ability to think, siplane, solve ingxaki, and make decisions. The limbic system contains the brain's reward circuit. It links together a number of brain structures that control and regulate our ability to feel pleasure and can be activated by a healthy or unhealthy activities.
So step one, you've discovered that you have an addiction. What's the next step?
You go actually for an assessment.
Oh, okay.
With a counsellor. We'd call somebody in that have an assessment, and then we will decide how bad it is. We both sit together in a room. We talk for, it's about 50 minutes. We talk, ask you all sorts of questions, ask you about your background, ask you about if you're married, not married, single, if you have, how many friends you have, if you're a teenager, how many friends you have, what school's like, what's life at home like, what your father and mother's relationship is, what your dad's relationship is with you, what your mother's relationship is with you. And I assess, according to your arguments, what's going on.
So what are some of the challenges that you actually come across with a patient, right? Because sometimes people don't like talking. So how do you ease them into the rehabilitation process?
Well, it's not easy. You have group therapy, you have one-on-one sessions, and we make them and let them believe that we love them and they will be heard. You see, a lot of addicts today feel they're not heard, feel they're not understood, and they feel they're alone. They're not alone. So we let them know they're not alone, and we earn their trust.
The SABC kanjani iziyobisi engqondweni to produce pleasure. Science tells us that most drugs of abuse directly or indirectly target the brain's reward system by flooding the circuit via dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, or the brain's chemical messenger present in regions of the brain that regulate movement, emotion, motivation, and feelings of pleasure. When activated at normal levels, the system rewards our natural behaviors. Overstimulating the system, however, produces a euphoric effect, which strongly reinforces the behavior of drug use, teaching the user to repeat it over and over again.
All right, so Clive, I wanted to talk about the rehabilitation process in depth. I want to know what happens during the course of rehabilitation.
The first step would be the person would be urine tested, then the doctor would be called, the doctor would come in, they would start a detox process. So the first 3 to 4 days or 5 days would be a detox process. Once they have a detox, then we start the program. The program is 9:30 in the morning. They would have group therapy would start. It would start from 9:30 to 10:30. 10:30 to 11 they'd have a break. 11 they'd have cognitive therapy, which differentiates from a lecture to them doing all sorts of exercises, working with each other in a group room. 12 to 1 they would have a break. Lunchtime they would have lunch. Then they would do step work, which is this is a 12-step program. So they would start with step 1. They would have a certain amount of time to do step 1, so they would have like maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks to do step 1, which is a lot of writing. You know, we emphasize on writing, because writing, you pour your soul in writing. We have a whole bunch of exercises about how people have loss of control over their disease and unmanageability, with how life just becomes unmanageable with the disease. So they write all sorts of exercises on certain situations.
Speaking of drug addiction, I want to know, how long does that process actually take, the 12 steps that you actually mentioned?
Well, to finish 12 steps could actually take up to a year, up to 2 years. But what we try and do is we try and bring them into treatment for up to 6 weeks. They should then go to secondary, which is a half hours. So we try and keep them in a half hours for up to a year, where they're still coming back and forth. They do groups with the inpatients, because they got more knowledge about their process, so they actually pass it on to the inpatients who are still new. But we try and keep them in for up to a year, where we continually try and follow their process, which could mean that they could relapse in a year. In that year they could relapse a few times, but they relapse under our care. It doesn't go into full-blown addiction. If you clean and you start using, you can use up to 2 or 3 days, that's just a relapse. Anything over 3 days starts going into full-blown addiction. So if they go back home, the parents or somebody would only find out after 2 or 3 weeks of them using that this guy's high again or whatever, then he's already back into full-blown addiction. In the halfway house, we could actually see there's something wrong with his behavior. The first day or two, someone will say, listen, George or Stephen's acting funny, so please test him. So we'll test him and then they can get taken care of.
Yeah.
So, Buffet, today we're talking about addiction.
Yes.
So, Ndwana, is addiction like a chronic brain disease, or is addiction one of the symptoms that actually have a disconnection of whatever's happening around us?
Good question. I mean, omunye umbuzo ngisafuna ukumbuza ne. Uthi kahle kahle indaba abantu that are addicted to drugs aren't automatically addicted to everything else ezobalethela ke i-dopamine or the feelings of pleasure.
Yeah.
So talk to us via social media, Buffet, and while you do exactly that, quick commercial break, some wonder on the flip side of this.
TOMz.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back to Teenagers on a Mission, right in SABC 1, where life and TV are uno. Now today, Buffet, we're talking about a very serious issue in drug addiction, and it says Buffet, it's actually consuming our communities across the globe.
Yes, most definitely. Buffet, says drug addiction is a huge issue, Donna, and it says you must take care of it. But Donna, there's other addictions that are actually creeping up in our communities that we're not aware of.
Abantu suffer from obesity, eating disorders, gambling, as well as smartphone addictions. Now, what can be done? So I want to know, how important is support, say from your family, from your friends, in the process of rehabilitation?
Very important, but a lot of times families don't know how to understand it. That's why we also run a family group. And I would suggest that families do come to a family group or go to some sort of therapy to understand how to handle it, because a lot of families would believe that either they're doing something wrong, the father, the mother, or something's going on at school. But you know, you can also be born with addiction. You actually are born with addiction.
Is it?
Yeah, addiction runs down. There's always a family line of addiction. There's always, if you're an addict, there's always someone else in your family that's also an addict. So families need to actually learn how to understand what addiction is about.
Yes, Mzansi, there you have it. We came, we saw, and we conquered, Buffet. You are bigger than your situation. You are bigger than your circumstances. Trust me, it's never too late. Take this first step. Thank you so much, Buffet, for going on this beautiful mission with me. With that being said, Buffet, we sell back to the studio. Yes, vandaag Buffet, we're talking about using and abusing. It's high time to put your knowledge to the test with our TOMz quiz challenge, Buffet. Then to show what you slide in the DMs, TOMz. Alternatively, mashange email on toms@sabceducation.co.za. With that being said, Buffet, let's play the TOMz quiz challenge. Salman and Buffet, you guys know that you are very special to us, and that's why High School in Mafikeng to experience the ultimate edutainment. Ready to have some fun with you guys. I hope that you guys are just as ready to explore the amazing world of science and technology. Buffet to the TOMz song just to get the spirits high. Yes, Buffet, so now we're okay to a brief explanation about how science and technology has transformed our lives. Now, Buffet says what science is the system that we use to better understand the universe. Knowledge is power, and with this power we can give birth to great future leaders. So let's that will empower the learners and leave them motivated. It can also assist the learners with career guidance, as this is the time to be thinking about your future. With TOMz by your side, learning becomes so much fun. Edutainment. Yes, my friends, now go to TOMz. Wouldn't be TOMz without Jivo. It's time for the dance off challenge. I suppose kahle ubani okwazi ukjiva. Yes, my friends, we tested the knowledge with the TOMz quiz challenge, where we saw Team A winning the first round.
Team A takes it.
Then moved on to the second round where you saw Utlulelo winning and knocking everyone out and therefore making it through to the TOMz Speed Round Master. This was kahle uzokwazi ukuyishaya noma yona uzoshaya yena.
Cool guys, we've come to the third round again. Unless you're using it, TOMz Speed Round Master. Well done, my boy. Well done. So what's gonna happen here, my boy? You have to move these pieces, ne? You have 2 minutes to do all of this. The rules are you use one hand and you can't put the bigger ones on top of the small ones, ne? Now, let's go. Away. You guys can help him, ne? You can help him. One minute, 23 seconds. How do you feel?
I'm not excited.
Ah, come on.
I could have done better.
Yeah, but you've done better. Yeah, you want to send a shout out to home?
I want to say a shout out to Rapelang, Tepi, and all those that know me. My mother, my father, my sisters, and all.
Cool, my so namhlanje sikhuluma nge-addiction, my friend. So sesiyazi ukuthi addiction ibuya aphi nokuthi abantu baba addicted to certain things kanjani. We know the different types of addictions, and now into sifuna ukuthola kabanzi ukuthi bafethu, how are we going to think about this differently in the future, and how is addiction going to be treated differently in the future? Let's go check it out.
Medical advances as TOMz has supplementary addiction treatments that include vaccines that can block or dampen the high from drugs. A higher rate of success for the treatment of addictions will be achieved as different treatments for different addictions become available. Skills and training of addiction counselors will expand to provide more effective and fully integrated psychiatric and medical treatments. There will be a greater understanding of the causes of addiction, thus enabling the socioeconomic factors to be treated. The length of stay in addiction treatment facilities will increase to 60 and even 90-day programs to incorporate holistic treatment and care.
There you have it, Bafethu. Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode, but this is where we call it a wrap. And addiction can be dangerous. For more information on today's episode, all you got to do is visit our website at www.sabceducation.co.za/TOMz.
Absolutely, Bafethu. And if you're addicted to TOMz, then you have nothing to worry about. Now, for links and queries, Bafethu, you can always visit to www.facebook.com/TOMz, on Twitter at TOMz_SABC_1. Otherwise, at IMC_G on Twitter.
Fresh by Caddy on Twitter.
And that's where we call it a wrap, Bafethu. Goodbye and God bless.
Ciao.
Alright, my gang, here's what you can expect next time on TOMz.
Tons of waste is created each year through animal byproducts. Kodwa one South African decided that it is not just a challenge, but an opportunity, and managed to create an entire business from waste. Cabanga nje. See how the nutrient cycle work? And thola kabanzi how animal byproducts have been used in history. Discover how it can help us create a better world, and test yourself in our awesome quiz.
Do catch us same place, same time on your favorite channel, right on SABC1, where life and TV are one.